This is R.S. Miller at the endtimenews.org, and today is February 26, 2014. Russia orders an urgent combat readiness drill. President Vladimir Putin ordered an urgent drill to test the combat readiness of the armed forces across western Russia on Wednesday, according to reports from various news agencies. Russia's defense minister, Sergei Shoigu, is reported as having said that Putin ordered the test at 2 p.m. Moscow time on Wednesday. Shoigu said the drill would be conducted in 2 stages, ending on March 3rd, and would also involve some military forces in central Russia. This drill, which is likely seen by the U.S. and NATO as military muscle flexing by Moscow, comes amid increased tensions between the West and Russia over the current Ukraine crisis. Several days ago, National Security Advisor Susan Rice warned Russia that it would be a grave mistake if Russia intervened militarily in the ongoing crisis in the Ukraine. It appears that President Putin has given his reply to the U.S. warning by testing his troops' readiness and quite possibly preparation for war with the West. On February 2, 2014, Lyndon LaRouche, an anti-British monarchy activist and former U.S. presidential candidate, issued the following warning concerning the crisis in the Ukraine. What you are seeing, if you look at the recent weeks since the 1st of January, and you look through the course of the month of January, and now look into the early part of February, as I have warned people, we are expecting something no later than early March. If the actual event occurs, and right now it is very likely that it is, actual thermonuclear war between the transatlantic region on the one side of the war and the Eurasian region on the other side. That means an extermination war. He went on to say that the U.S. and Western Europe are almost certainly looking at thermonuclear war no later than early March. Meanwhile, in the Middle East, tensions are again on the increase, threatening to destabilize the entire region. This time, however, it is not over alleged Israeli strikes on Hezbollah in the Syria/Lebanese border areas, but instead are over Israel's recent decision to debate the idea of exerting Israeli control on the Temple Mount. The subject is such a heated topic and invokes extreme emotions, at least for the Arabs, that it threatens to shatter the fragile peace between Israel and some of its neighbors, i.e. Jordan. A majority of Jordanian MPs voted on Wednesday to seek the expulsion of Israel's ambassador to the kingdom after the Jewish state's parliament debated Israeli sovereignty over the Temple Mount, which houses the Al-Aqsa Mosque. In addition, there are also calls by certain opposition leaders in Jordan calling for the annulment of the peace treaty that now exists with Israel. Lawmakers in Amman signed a petition criticizing the Jordanian government for not taking a strong and solid stand against the Knesset. In the peace treaty signed between the two governments nearly 20 years ago, Israel acknowledged the Hashemite kingdom's special role in the custodianship of the holy sites in Jerusalem. Currently, the Jews are not allowed to pray on the temple, or even carry anything Jewish, such as an Israeli flag or a holy book, without running the risk of starting another intifada or uprising against the so-called occupiers of Palestinian land. With the entire Middle East being a tinderbox just waiting for a spark, this situation just may be it. But whatever the case may be, I'm expecting to see the fulfillment of last days Bible prophecy. In Matthew chapter 24, starting in verse 4, Jesus gives us some of what we are to consider as signs of the last days. And he said, "Take heed that no one deceives you. For many will come in my name, saying, I am the Christ, and will deceive many. And you will hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you are not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there will be famines, pestilences, and earthquakes in various places. In verse 8, he tells us that these things are the beginnings of sorrows. Then in verse 14, he tells us one of the final signs before his return. And this gospel of the kingdom will be preached in all the world as a witness to all nations, and then the end will come. And in today's high-tech society, the gospel has in fact been preached to virtually every nation on the planet. One would be hard-pressed to find an internationally recognized nation that has not at least heard about Jesus Christ. Although there are still some tribes of people living in remote areas like the Amazon, Jesus did not say when the gospel has been preached to every person. Therefore, it is not only possible that the gospel has been preached to every nation, but also very likely. Finally, in Luke chapter 21, starting at verse 25, Jesus says, "And there will be signs in the sun, in the moon, and in the stars, and on the earth distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring, men's hearts failing them for fear and the expectation of those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven will be shaken. Then they will see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory." In verse 28, and this is one of the keys to understanding where we are according to last days Bible prophecy, Jesus said, "Now when these things begin to happen," and they are happening, they have been happening for a while now, "then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draws near." Friends, we are living in the last days, and I only have one question for you. Are you saved? Follow the link in the box below and pray the prayer of salvation with a sincere heart, and you will be saved. May God bless you.